Hello, everyone. Welcome into another episode of Red versus Blue.
Yeah. I mean, pretty accurate. Usually it's green versus blue in this case, but yeah, red versus blue. Hi, how are you,
exactly.
Trace? How are you, Red?
This is Rank Masters. My name is Trace. That dude is Seth. We are the critics of internet lists.
Yes, we are.
And we're coming at you again on this beautiful... What day do we release these? Wednesday.
Yes. We can change that. It doesn't have to be Wednesdays.
I don't know. I like Wednesday. It's like a balance
it's a nice day,
in the middle of the week. It's hump day.
Hump day. Yeah, it's great. I don't know. I don't remember why Hump Day became such a meme. It was definitely marketing, right?
It was marketing. I remember there was a camel. I don't remember what company did it, but there was a camel that would yell "Hump Day" like that.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who did it. So bad marketing, I guess.
Top 10 marketing campaigns that we forgot. That's going on the list of the list. We'll save that for later.
Whoa, man! I wonder if there's like some advertising company that would like list those as like, oh, ineffective advertising campaigns that people spent a lot of money on.
I mean, probably, yeah. I feel like
it has to be,
because they have to like give advice to other advertising companies and all that jazz. But I don't know. Anyway,
like most effective advertising campaigns like Kleenex.
Yeah. What was Kleenex's advertising campaign? Hold on. What are you talking about?
The fact that it's Kleenex. Like, Kleenex has become so ubiquitous with the word tissue, like they're interchangeable.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Now.
Yeah, it's like Google with searching or something along those lines.
Or like Band-Aid.
Or Velcro. Yeah.
Or like Velcro.
Yeah.
There you go. We just did the list.
We did the list. Boom, right there. That's not even the list that we were expecting to do today. Hi, everyone. What, Trace? You know what list it is because it's a you episode. What list are we doing today?
You know what? I'm going to be completely upfront. I didn't do a lot of research for this episode, and I apologize. And I just remembered that for a while now, I've wanted to do another Urban Legends of a state. And I was like, let's take it back to where I grew up. Let's go to Colorado. Let's get the Urban Legends of Colorado. And that's what we're doing today.
Heck yeah.
So I looked it up. I found a good list from the Gazette, which is a newspaper over in Colorado.
Makes sense.
And they have the top 16 legends of Colorado that we'll be going through today. And I don't know what's on this list, so it'll be interesting for both of us.
I'm like, as someone who I've spent, I think, a grand total of 3 weekends in Colorado, and that's the extent of my experience in Colorado. So I guarantee I will recognize absolutely none of these. I probably won't even recognize the places. I think the only places I know in Colorado are like Denver and Winter Park, and both those are like ski places, so I doubt they'll have like urban legends
Denver's
or something.
Not a ski place.
I know, but
misconception for many people who haven't been to Colorado: Denver's not in the mountains.
Yeah,
I just want everyone to know that
the mountains
are
in
next
Denver.
to them. No, I was like, they're literally Denver's still in the plains. You can see the mountains, but they're still about like I want to say like a 40-minute drive away before you're actually on the mountains. So
yeah,
just saying. As someone who grew up for 18 years in Colorado, I'm probably also not going to know a whole lot of these.
That's fair. So, yeah, you were.
No. You're gonna dox baby me.
I was gonna make a guess based on the previous conversations we've had about where you lived, but then I'm like, no, that's probably not a wise decision to do on mic, because if I am right, and you're probably just gonna deny it so you don't get doxed, and if I'm wrong, you're still gonna deny it. So I guess it wouldn't really matter either way. But either way, I'd feel bad because we already have many times. I feel like you've already said where you grew up at least once, and I'm like, I don't remember it.
Probably. I wonder, like, a lot of my friends, I normally do like the pull out the map and show them where I grew up because they don't believe me. Yeah, so I feel like I've done that to you at least once.
Yeah, I think I can picture the map. I think I remember where, like, on the map it is, but I can't tell you the name of it or something like that. Exactly. You know?
Well, coming in at number 16 is the crucifixions of.
It starts with a P. I'm looking at the list, which is rare for this kind of episode.
Penitente Canyon.
You know, I've been told that if you don't know how to pronounce a word, just say it quickly and with confidence, and everyone will believe you. Yeah. You know how it is as a radio host.
Exactly. But I'm not going to do that because I want to be very honest with you. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Understandable.
I've never actually heard of this place. But
what's special about it?
To Del Norte, which I do know how to pronounce.
Nice.
There's a good chance you haven't heard of the You're right. Of the Penitente Canyon.
I haven't heard of it, yeah.
It's an awesome place for hiking, biking, and climbing. While it's all fun and games now, it has a darker past.
Oh.
It was originally named for the Los Hermanos Penitente, the Repentant Brothers.
Oh, okay.
One of the southwestern of America's most mysterious religious groups. The name stuck because the canyon allegedly was the site of a secret ritualistic meeting. That what allegedly happened at these meetings? Literal reenactments of the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, which included nailing men to a heavy wooden cross, as well as self-flagellation.
Self-flagellation. That's a word I haven't heard in ages. What the? I don't remember. What does flagellation mean?
It's like when you
it's just flogging. Go, okay, gotcha. I see.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's... I mean, okay, there's definitely some strange, like, religious nuts. I think this is the weirdest, like, Christian thing I've seen in a while. There's a lot of weird Christian things, but this is strange.
I don't know. This is Colorado people. Tell me if I'm wrong here. I feel like there's a group that does do this, but like it's supposed to be cute and fun. And on Easter, they do a reenactment of the crucifixion with like kids.
Yes, very fun. That's exactly what we want to see on Easter. Yeah,
exactly. It's supposed to be like a cute little like thing that you do with your family. I'm pretty sure this is something that happens. I want to say it's like around Alamosa. I want to say.
I pretend that's a place. Yeah.
I want to say this happens. It has to happen. I remember seeing like promotional art for it when I'd go to church, and they'd be like, come join us Easter Sunday for the reenactment of the crucifixion. And like kids would try out for the like positions, like, oh, I hope I get the role of Jesus this year. Like, I swear this happened. Are you looking it up?
I'm looking it up. Local church reenacts crucifixions with hopes of starting Easter tradition. Yeah, this is definitely a thing. It looks like it's multiple different churches in Colorado.
Oh, good for them.
I mean, I see the Vale Church. I see Eastside Assembly of God. There's a Wikipedia entry for the Los Hermanos Penitentes, which is
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, but it says it's in New Mexico.
I mean, they were probably like in multiple places.
And probably interesting. I'm a little confused. Okay, it says that they. Now I'm reading through this Wikipedia article. It looks like they're primarily central New Mexico, and then a little bit of southern Colorado. So I'm guessing. Okay, interesting.
Oh, so that would be the Alamosa region.
Yeah,
so maybe
that does in fact make sense.
Maybe my mind is like correct here.
Maybe you are. Maybe it wasn't fun and games. Maybe they were using real nails.
Maybe so.
Spicy.
Fuck them kids, I guess. Coming in at number 15. The Goldfield Cave of Marble Mountain.
I like how the picture for the picture for the previous one was someone like rock climbing up the canyon. This one's literally just a picture of the Google Maps JPEG. It's just correct. A screenshot. In fact, the title for it just says Marble Mountain Google Maps.jpg, and I think that's really funny.
You know, sometimes the Gazette, I guess, can't just get someone out there to get the photos.
Look, it's hard sometimes. I get it.
But called La Caverna del Oro, this limestone cave was once home to a gold mining operation led by Spaniards residing in Mexico. By enslaving locals, the Spaniards and company included 3 monks, started digging for gold at roughly 13,000 feet until they'd uncovered as much as they could and still make the return trip to Mexico.
Ooh.
Okay, the Spaniards then killed their slaves before leaving, going to take the smile off my face now.
Ooh, yeah.
Perhaps to hide the location of the site, though they never returned for more gold. Years later, in 1869, a man named Captain Elisha Horn claimed to find the cave marked with a cross painted near the entrance, accompanied by the remains of a Spanish soldier. Since then, a number of spelunkers... spelunking's a regular word. You don't need to look at me every time. Also, Trace, just so you know, you're looking in the wrong direction. Oh, no, I'm not.
I think you are. I'm fairly certain.
No.
You're looking to the right and you're on the right side of the screen. Sorry, for anyone who's using the visuals, who's not, like, seeing the camera, we're being a little bit silly. But either way, Trace just gave me a look when he said spelunkers because I love a video game called Spelunky. That's based on, spelunking, which is the act of exploring caves.
I feel like it's based on a whole lot more. But
Okay, the word spelunky is based on spelunkers. The game itself is based on Mario, and also based on multiple religious myths. But oh well.
Yeah.
Again, not at all related to this entry about the Goldfield Cave in Marble Mountain. But okay.
When have we ever talked about the entry when we're on the entry, all right?
That's a good point. You're right.
I understand spelunking is a word.
Spelunkering. I like that word.
I fucking whatever. Allegedly, the caverns inside of the cave are some of the most difficult and dangerous to navigate in the state. This legend is one that's since been debunked, said by some to be a hoax meant to drum up newspaper sales. Thanks, the Gazette newspaper.
Thanks, the Gazette. I mean, hey, it works. It gave them one extra entry on this list. Actually, you know what? It would have been better to be top 15, because I feel like that's a more...
It's a better number.
It's a better number.
You see top 16 and you're like, why'd you go that high?
16 feels more than it is, you know? Like 16 feels like, okay, I'm sitting in for a while. I'm gonna have to stop. It's gonna take me a while to read, where 15 doesn't feel like that. But 14 does, which is interesting to me. Like it feels like you just need to get multiples of 5 and it will feel better. That just come on, Gazette.
It feels more complete. It feels well-rounded.
It does. It really does. I don't know. I guess 16 is good for people who like multiples of 8. I
guess.
Get all those Minecrafters out there.
That's one of the worst things about Minecraft is the fact that all these random numbers, can I please hold more than 64 items? Or make it less. Let me hold 50 items so it's so much easier to do the math in my head. I have seven stacks of 64 diamond blocks. What the fuck? How many is that? I don't know. No one knows.
I mean, you know why it's in stacks of 64 and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, to spite us.
No. I mean, somewhat a little bit. No, it's computers find anything related to multiples of 2 really easy to calculate. It's just easier for a computer to handle.
That's so cool. You know what else
2,
is a multiple
4,
of
8,
2?
16, 64.
50.
I know, but it's not it's not an exponent. I think 64 is 2 to the power of 5.
I don't know. Once again, I just said I don't do math in my head very quickly, and you're like,
it's 2 to the power of 6. My bad.
Well, they could have made it be. The computers that are running Minecraft are a lot smarter than just doing exponents of 2.
That's true.
Very easily just make it 50.
But let's be honest, they weren't that smart 50 years ago. 50 years ago? What the fuck? 10 years ago.
How old is Minecraft to you?
50 years. 50 years old. That's how old Minecraft is. I can confirm. That's when I was in the mines and crafting.
Children, they yearn for the mines. Coming in at number 14, the death of Emma Crawford.
Who's Emma Crawford?
Well, a sick Emma came to Manitou Springs, which I have been to.
Oh, neat.
In the late 1800s with her mother, seeking the healing properties of the mineral water in the area during a time when tuberculosis was relatively common. Actually, I think I swam in in a hot spring in Manitou Springs.
Interesting. Okay, so you swam in this water of the dead woman. Interesting.
Yeah.
Where are we going with this?
She's still there to this day. You can...
Yeah, you can just see her skeleton at the bottom of it.
They just let her stay there.
She supplied the minerals for the mineral water.
She's chilling.
We're horrible. We're horrible people for this. Oh my god, Trace.
She was engaged to be... This happened in the 1800s. Who fucking cares?
I know, but it's still a dead person, potentially.
She was engaged to be married after she had beaten her illness, but died a few days prior to her wedding due to another wave of sickness. The second wave struck her after climbing the nearby Red Mountain, allowing directions from an apparition of her... This is horrible. Of her Native American spirit guide. Mm-hmm. After her death, her fiancé and 11 other men took her casket to the summit of Red Mountain despite lacking the proper permits. A flood soon occurred, resulting in a landslide that brought her casket back into town right there in the hot springs, where she stays to the... I'm joking. Throughout the years, various parts of her...
Holy shit. Oh my god, Trays.
Throughout the years, various parts of her body have been found, including her skull. Emma's remains are now in the nearby Crystal Valley Cemetery. A local event called the Emma Crawford Coffin Races.
The coffin races?
And you were saying we were bad. These people literally jump in coffins to race down the mountain.
Holy shit! That is wild. Oh my god. There's one thing about disrespecting the dead, disrespecting like Native American land and culture. Hopping in a dead person's coffin, or I guess not a dead person's coffin. A coffin that's meant to be hers, and racing down the street. What the fuck?
Oh, come on. It's a little fun.
That does sound really fun, actually. I'm not going to lie.
I'm surprised. Maybe I did hear about this. When I was in Manitou Springs, I was very young. I want to say I was like 10. So not very young, but I was young.
Very young.
And so I probably wasn't taking in as much as the local culture as I would now if I went to this at this time.
Yeah.
But this is, okay. We used to go to a type of convention when I was a kid. I'm not going to say what type because that's too doxery for me.
Comic-Con.
It wasn't a furry convention. It wasn't anime. It was related to my father's work.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I see.
And that's how I did most of my travel when I was a kid because otherwise we couldn't afford to travel.
Fair.
So we only went to these things that were like sponsored by his work that paid for everything. So that's how we were able to go to different places in Colorado.
Makes sense.
The only other time I traveled was with FFA, so
hey.
that's how I got my sightseeing done when I was in high school.
I mean, we've had I think we've talked about those FFA trips before on a previous episode. Was it like 2 or 3 episodes ago?
I don't know. It could have been last episode. FFA was a huge part of my life when I was in high school.
Fair. Yeah, we talked about sleeping in the bathtub.
It very likely gets brought up quite a bit. Honestly, I kind of want to go back to Manitou Springs again to see the Emma Crawford Coffin races.
I mean, honestly, legitimately, once we start, I'm starting my new job soon, and it will be a job that actually provides reliable money. At a scale that I have never seen before. Legitimately, okay. The new job that I'm going to be working at pays $20 an hour, and that's full time, and that's something that I haven't dreamed of. And I've talked to people who are like, yeah, $20 an hour, that's pretty low for full time work. I'm like, for me, it isn't. I make like $200 a week right now at most. I'm like, I could really, and that's $200 before paying for like gas from like delivery fees or the extra like self-employment credit, like tax or not credit, but tax at the end of the year. I'm like, good God, I do not make money, So once I start making money, and that is a lot of money to me. I want to do more travels. I want to go see like funny small town events like this because like every small town has something. There's like a 1 day a year event that everyone in the town knows and no one outside of the town's ever even heard of. Yeah. I'm like, exploring those sounds like so much fun to me. Just stumbling in on a random town.
Sadly, I spent most of my travel money going to furry conventions.
I mean, I do want to go to those too.
I'm horrible. I'm a horrible little man. But yeah, like it would be so much fun to travel. Like honestly, I want to do a road trip. Like another friend and I have been talking about a road trip just to like go and see things, take photos, experience. Different things, like specifically going back to Colorado because I haven't been in a very long time.
Makes sense.
Very long time being 5 years, I want to say, since I
feel like it's been more than that.
Well, I mean, like I've been back to Colorado for like other things after I graduated high school. Like, I went back for my grandpa, my grandpa's funeral. But I don't know. Like, it's been a while since I've been back to Colorado, like for a significant period of time. Insignificant, I mean by like a week.
That's fair, yeah.
Normally, I think I want to say the last time I went, I was there for like 2 days. And then I had to come right back.
I mean, nice little weekend. I get it. I know there is a FurCon in Colorado, so if you want to go,
fuck that FurCon.
Really? Is it bad?
No, you know, okay, that's a hot take, and we won't bring it up on this.
Okay.
Podcast.
Hey, top 10 FurCons. Let's save that for another list.
Yeah, you know what? I want to experience 10 different FurCons before I decide to make that list.
Yeah, I'm like, I've got 2 on my repertoire, and I think both of them you've experienced.
I have not experienced AC, so.
Oh, really? Okay, fam.
Nope. And for the longest time, I didn't think I wanted to go to AC, but then I saw like a bunch of my friends have fun at AC this year.
That's how it is.
And I was like,
that's how it is, isn't it? You know, you just see other people having a good time, and you get that FOMO, and you're like, okay, well, now I have to go.
I was like, well, now maybe I want to. This is what happened. This is why I went to Philadelphia. This is like, I was like, man, this will be too long of a break between my next convention. And I'm feeling that right now. Literally the other day, like, I went to Philadelphia and then I went to Dallas, like back-to-back weekends.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, I know. I apologize for that. I forgot to tell you I was in Dallas.
Yeah, we had to delay recording just by a day, but you know, we got it out on time. It's fine.
We got it out. But like, I got back and I was like, I'm ready to take a break. I'm ready to just not travel for like a couple months, and then I'll get to go to MFF or maybe MFF. We'll still see. Who knows how that's going to turn out?
Who knows?
And literally like a couple days ago, I was looking up flights to fucking Florida for Megaplex.
No! Anywhere but Florida, Trace. Come on.
I know, but I know so many people going to Megaplex, and I'm like, oh man, wouldn't it be cool to go to Megaplex?
No.
Literally, Megaplex is next weekend, so that's how desperate I was. I'm not going to Megaplex. Don't worry. I need to save money. I have a friend coming in October to hang out. That'll suffice maybe a little bit. Who knows?
Heck
maybe
yeah.
I'll take a small trip somewhere, like who knows, where you are.
Ooh, that would
only
be fun.
A drive away. You're not a flight away.
I was gonna say it would be fun to have you over. I think we have the capacity to host. Yeah, I don't see any issues with it.
If you don't, I know many people where you are who have the capacity to host.
That's true. That's the biggest advantage of living in a city.
Yeah,
there are many people here.
Well, my mom was always so surprised, like, oh, how do you travel so much? And I was like, because normally I'm either rooming with a bunch of people at a convention, so it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to see my friend who lives in that city, so I don't even have to pay for a hotel or anything.
Yeah, it's literally just paying for travel.
Yeah, it's super nice. Anyway, coming in at number 13, Colorado's last grizzly. Once upon a time, grizzly bears were a common sight in Colorado, but it's been decades since they've been seen. The last one was spotted in 1979 by a man named Ed Wiseman.
That's a fun name.
Yeah. I like Wiseman.
Ed Wiseman. You know what? If I could change my name to anything, I would do that, actually. Ed Wiseman.
Mine would be Continental Divide in the South San Juan Mountains.
Damn, that's a long-ass name, Trace.
I know, but I feel like it rolls off the tongue.
It really does.
But Wiseman was hunting there when he spotted the last one. He accidentally cornered the bear on a ridge, prompting it to attack him, leaving him severely mauled. That's not the crazy part, though. What's crazy is how he fought back. Using a handheld arrow, he repeatedly stabbed the bear until it stopped moving. Keep in mind, the female grizzlies can weigh anywhere near 300 to 450 pounds. That's cheap talk. When Ed eventually got back to civilization, no one believed any part of his story, both that he killed a grizzly with an arrow or that he even saw one in the first place. In an attempt to figure out the truth, they gave Ed a lie detector test. He passed.
I like how the lie detector test was what they went with. Instead of going and seeing the bear's body,
I mean,
he claimed to kill the grizzly. It should stay there.
In the 1970s, I feel like they thought a lie detector test was a lot more valuable than what we understand now.
Did they? I feel like a lot of lie detector research was done earlier than that. I feel like at least law enforcement would have known that it wasn't that reliable.
No.
I know they still used it.
Like, law enforcement today even wants to convince people that it's still a good way to prove someone's lying or not.
Oh, they absolutely want to convince people, but I don't think they believe it themselves. I think they're just... I mean, you know...
Not to say police are kind of stupid, but most of them
possibly.
Most of them
hey, you
are.
never know. Interesting. Interesting little story. I guess that is technically... This is the most urban legend that we've had so far because 1970s. Or 1979, you know, almost 80s. Not really urban in this case. But I guess it didn't really say urban legends. It just said legends. It's a neat legend. That's a cool bear. Fucking, I'm sorry she died. What a shame.
Yeah, so she died. Literally nothing else to talk about this one.
I mean,
Coming in
it's
at
a cool
number 12.
You said, 300 to 450 wasn't realistic? Or you said that was...
No, I'm saying cheap numbers.
Cheap numbers?
I'm a very big man, and the amount of times someone says, please lay on me is, is way too much. So I feel like weak numbers, all right? People are begging for that weight, apparently.
That's true. Yeah.
Coming in at number 12, we're just going to keep going.
I don't know how to rely on that one. What the name for this one? Holy shit. Hello?
Yeah, the Colorado Cannibal.
That's a fun name.
Once upon a time, a man named Alfred Packer set out on an expedition towards Breckenridge with 5 other men. He was eventually found near Gunnison as the last surviving member of the party. At first, he claimed he was abandoned. Then he said that another man in the group snapped, attacking him and the others. However, as time passed, more holes formed in Packer's story, and mounting evidence pointed towards a much darker tale. As weather grew harsh, men started dying, subsequently eaten by the rest of the group. When only 3 were left, another member shot and killed the other remaining person, leaving only him and Packer. Out of what Packer claims was self-defense, he then killed this man, packing up some of his kill for sustenance and moved on. He ended up being charged with murder, which was downgraded to 5 counts of manslaughter. He was eventually paroled for his crimes, leaving out the rest of his days in Deer Creek until 1907. With his death, the potential of ever finding out what really happened in those mountains also died.
That's definitely a dark tale for sure. I could see that spawning some ghost stories in Deer Creek. I wonder if there's like any haunted houses in Deer Creek that are like specifically haunted by the Colorado Cannibal, because that would be.
I bet the house that he died in. I bet. Like there has to be people who live near him. Be like, you know who lived there?
Gotta be
the Colorado Cannibal. And every night. Not every night. Maybe like every December, you could hear the sounds of him. I don't know. Munching on bones.
You could hear the Minecraft eating sounds.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I actually heard of this story. I remember hearing this when I was growing up in Colorado. Yeah, this one I feel like is more well known, I guess.
That's fair.
Because I knew it. I didn't live anywhere near Gunnison or like Breckenridge or where did they fucking die? Deer Creek?
Deer Creek? Yeah.
I didn't live near any of those places, but I remember hearing about this. I wonder, okay, this is my prediction. I wonder if the unsinkable Annie Brown will be on here.
I was gonna control F to try and find it, and then I'm like, no, we can wait. Let's not spoil anything. I'm curious to hear what the unsinkable Annie Brown is. If it's not on this list.
Yeah. My Titanic head's going crazy right now.
What?
Nothing.
Just from the word unsinkable, or
No. Well, we'll talk about it later. Maybe I'm not going to talk about it because maybe she does appear on this. But coming in at number 11, It's the secret cave at the Garden of the Gods.
I think I visited the Garden of the Gods, actually. I think that was one of the 3 weekends I've spent in Colorado, and that was pretty cool.
Very popular tourist place. Like
a
lot of people go there to like. They don't make it the destination, but it's like a destination on a list of places that they go while they're around Colorado Springs area.
One of the places to stop at during your visit. Yeah, I get you.
Well, even if you've been to the Garden of the Gods, you probably haven't heard of Spaulding's Cavern, discovered by Jacob Spaulding in 1848 on North Gateway Rock near the Kissing Camels. People who have never been to Garden of the Gods are losing their minds. What does this mean?
Yeah, Kissing Camels, just 2 rocks that look like camels that are kissing. They're smooching.
They're like me and other boys. They're like, you like boys. This massive but narrow cavern was once quite popular among visitors. It was rediscovered in the 1930s, but was quickly sealed when it was deemed too dangerous for visitors to explore due to fragile rock and erosion.
Oh, well, now I want to go spelunking.
The cave didn't stay closed for long, naturally reopened in 1963 due to erosion. Again, it was promptly sealed to prevent injury and death among visitors. It's said to still be sealed today, and there aren't any signs of it opening up anytime soon. But it's there, and it's filled with signatures of those once brave enough to enter.
So how is this a legend? This just sounds like historical fact.
Yeah, so a lot of urban legends are based on historical fact. If you remember our Kansas episode, there were some where it was just people like being stupid.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, there's a hamburger man on a hamburger.
That's true, yeah.
But like some of it is like people hearing like a whisper of something and it coming back down and then being like, oh, yeah, no, this happened in this area. I think the legend is probably that, the cave is spooky, it's dangerous, that there's stuff sealed in there. But
it didn't say anything like that. It just says there is a cave and it's closed right now. And it was open at one point in time, but it's still closed now. I'm like, what's the legend there? There's no like horror stories. There's no like mystery of a ghost or something. It's just
what if there's aliens in there? I'll make it right now. It's sealed because there's aliens in there. They found alien skeletons in that cave, and the government was like, we have to seal it so that people can't find it.
I'll do you one better. This is the Garden of the Gods. Inside that cave is a god.
Is the gods.
It's all of them. They're all there. That's where Olympus is. It wasn't actually a mountain. It was a cave in a mountain.
It was a cave.
That's what we know.
In a mountain.
In a mountain.
In the Garden of the Gods.
In the Garden of the Gods. And now we know the ancient Greece people worships Colorado.
Yeah, they were like, yo, have you ever been to the Red Rocks Coliseum?
I mean, honestly, not out of character for the Greek.
Right. I feel like honestly, I have never been to a concert at Red Rocks. People who don't know, Red Rocks Amphitheater is like an actual really cool natural amphitheater that has been purposed into like a big concert venue.
Yeah, I haven't been there, but I've seen videos.
But I never did because we didn't have money when I was a child.
It looks amazing. That's for sure.
All right, we finally made it into the top 10.
And we're only 30 minutes in.
The appearance of the Angel of Shavano.
Okay, this is much more of a legend. I'm on board with this one. What's up with the Angel of Shavano?
The Angel of Shavano is the intersection of snowfields on Mount Shavano. According to local legends, the snowfield wasn't always there. The story is that an angel appeared before Ute tribal leader Shavano. Prayed before a dying friend, George Beckwith. That was a very weirdly constructed sentence.
The angel appeared after the leader prayed for a dying friend.
Yes.
Gotcha. That's okay.
A second story about the Angel of Shavano that's also tied to Native American roots is that a Native American princess once sacrificed herself for much-needed rain. Her representation as an angel on the mountain still appears each year for some purpose of bringing water to dry lands.
So that's cool. Okay, I do like these legends because these are much more like definitely not urban legends for sure, but more in line with what a legend actually is, in my opinion.
And I think what they're talking about is if you look at the picture that they have on the deal, it looks like a person, like the outline of a person doing the praise the sun pose from Dark Souls. Is that what the game is called?
I was thinking Wii Fit.
Whatever. But it's like doing that pose, and it looks like it because that's just the way that the natural curves of the mountain, and that's where the snow has fallen and stayed. So they're calling it the Angel of Shavano, which is really cool. I've never heard of it.
That is pretty cool. I can see where it comes from. It definitely looks like a person with outstretched arms. That's neat. Yeah, that's a cool perspective. Yeah. I like it.
I enjoy it. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
it's like that one legend. Dude called. Is it Gobbler's Knob? The Devil's Knob?
What?
I don't know. That's a whole other rabbit hole. We've got limited time on this podcast.
No, we're sticking on this one. What the fuck is Gobbler's Knob?
Gobbler's Knob.
The Gobbler's Knob may refer to the home of the groundhog the groundhog from Groundhog's Day. A fire lookout in Mount Rainier National Park in Washington, or a summit in Salt Lake City, Utah. And that's all. Those are three different things with the name Gobbler's Knob. Interesting.
Okay, there is a Gobbler's Knob, Colorado.
That's not on this list.
That is apparently near Lamar, Colorado. It is a Dakota sandstone outcropping.
Okay. Interesting.
According to Donna Snellings on the Google review, pit toilets, check for TP before going in. If it is a windy day, expect cool breezes while on the potty.
Thank you,
way
Donna.
to wash your hands, so bring hand sanitizer. Good place for resting truckers. No one will bother you here.
No one will bother you here.
Sure,
That's
thanks.
so intimidating. Thank you. All right, now it's time to move on. I was just unlocked on the name Gobbler's Knob. Like that's an interesting name.
I feel, I don't know why it's called that. I wish I did.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking of Devil's Lookout in Montrose.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But anyway, I was combining Gobbler's Knob and Devil's Lookout to Devil's Knob in my mind. But for some reason, Gobblers kept on popping up. So I was like, is it Gobbler's Knob that I'm thinking of?
I think you just want to gobble the Devil's Knob.
No.
Oh, that's your fault then. Skill issue.
Coming in at number 9, Butch Cassidy's Missing Gold.
Where did it go?
While the Front Range isn't typically where you'd expect to find an outlaw's hidden gold, the infamous Butch Cassidy is said to have buried the spoils of his bank robberies in El Paso County. Obviously, the exact location of the treasure is still unknown, though it's said to be near the town of Monument, totaling $100,000 worth of cash from the late 1800s. That's the entire thing.
That's a very short story. Good legend.
This is another one that I have heard of, actually, is that there's missing Butch Cassidy's treasure in Colorado.
Huh.
And you know what? I'm going to find it.
Yeah, that's what you're doing when you go take that trip with your friend. You're just going to Monument and then just going out with a metal detector.
And we're going to find that Butch Cassidy gold because we're built different. Every other person to seek it just hasn't actually... They don't have the mind of the Cassidy.
I mean, I feel like everybody who... like. Every method of finding gold underneath the earth has been like heavily researched and found. You know, like if there was a way to find hidden gold in a town where they've estimated where it is, I'm sure they've searched everywhere with it. You know,
they say it's near Monument, not in Monument.
Oh, that's true. You know, it could be on the Gobbler's Knob.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe it's right there on the knob itself. Literally, wait, actually, I think I remember this. I think my grandma used to call rock formations like the Gobbler's Knob dinosaur poop.
What?
And I think that's why Gobbler's Knob stuck into my brain. I'm unlocking core memories of driving through like desolate Colorado and my grandma being like, dinosaur poop. Which honestly makes a lot more sense than you think of because there are just dinosaur bones left and right out there.
That is true. Yeah, Colorado's full of dinosaur stuff. It's wild. Like, it's so cool. I remember
being in elementary and them just being like, yeah, we're going to go to see some dinosaur footprints and being like, yay, woo. And we didn't go to a museum.
We just walked.
We went out into a field and there were dinosaur footprints, not sectioned off or anything. We sat in them. We played in them.
Damn.
They were just there. So like, yeah, right? Very weird. But
were they
like there.
Staged? Like, were they
No. They were like in the rock. Like they are a correct
archaeological
like in
site. The rock. Gotcha.
Yeah, and like what it was a bog that dinosaurs walked through, and then after over years and years, it solidified into rock. And so now that there's this rock just out in the middle of Colorado that has a bunch of dinosaur footprints, that my elementary school teacher was like, we're just going to go. So we sat in them, we played in them, we took little really photos of us in them.
Dang.
Because they're just out there.
You had much more fun experiences in high school than I did. I mean, between that...
Well, that was elementary school.
Okay, in your school time than I did. Because, like, you said there's that. You said there was the whole UFO thing. I'm like, you know what? I wish I had fun times like that in school. The most fun experiences I had were discovering furries and playing Town of Salem.
That's completely fair. I mean, like, when you live out in rural Colorado... or just in like a super like rural, like not many people area.
Yeah.
Like the funnest thing you can do is just make up legends.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true.
But also like there's a different energy out there in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Not to sound like I'm too much off my rocker, but there is a different energy out there when you're just out there amongst nothing else but you and just this you can see for miles. You can see all the way around you.
It's a strange experience for sure. I know.
Yeah, it's completely weird. And like, you can't hear anything. You can see the sky for miles because there's no light pollution.
Yeah.
There's just a different energy out there, I think. And I mean, Colorado is where they had like, that was where the height of cattle mutilations were. If you remember, I don't know if you know this, like, you know, like the whole trope of like UFOs picking up cows.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yes.
Yeah, like most of those stories came from Colorado.
Interesting.
Just out there on the range, out there where my family drove cattle. That's where those stories were coming from.
They took your goddamn cows, Trace.
They took my cows. Right. Coming in at number 8, The Grave of a Vampire.
Ooh, vampire.jpg.
If you're into ghost hunting, me.
You?
Or for not adventure, me.
You
might want to consider hunting down the grave of a vampire in Lafayette. Found at Lafayette Municipal Cemetery, there's a grave marker for a man named John Trendefier from Transylvania.
Interesting.
That passed in 1918 at the age of 27. Well, if he's dead, he's not a vampire. I hate to break it to you. Unless he was stabbed with a stake. I don't know. Can we?
I mean, I can't. I wouldn't. I would stab a vampire with something else, but
that might sound, your dickle will get cold if you do that. They don't have bloody warmth.
It's okay. I have cold lube. I've experienced it before.
Oh my god. That might not sound too spooky. Whatever we were talking about was a little spooky.
Yeah, no kidding.
At first, but when you consider the many reports through the years of strange voices, lights, and plant growth around the grave, things might be a little more eerie. Double that with the local paranormal investigator, what a cool name.
Dre Pendragon? Holy shit, that's a great name.
Whatever fucking name you had, this is mine now. This is the one that
you get to claim this one. This is awesome. Yeah, Pendragon and just in general is a great name because there was the book series. That's the name of King Arthur. I'm like, oh god, that's a cool name.
It's such a cool name. Picked up during her visit, and you've got a classic ghost story. The message she heard: "Do you want to see my steak?"
Interesting.
That's Twilight. that's Edward Cullen being like, Bella. Do you want to see my steak?
That's, you know what? Fair enough. I don't think they were talking about like a wooden steak. I think they were just like they made like a pan steak. Very different routes there. I appreciate it. Very different
routes. Okay, this is actually this word makes me laugh, and I'm sorry, I'm a child.
What word?
The Tommy knockers inside Colorado mines.
Oh, we're moving on. Okay, damn. Yeah, Tommy knockers.
I mean, did you want to talk about the vampire more?
I mean, not really. I do think it's neat that, like, you know, flowers grow around a dead body. That does tend to... Pardon me.
That does tend to... Just throw up on our listeners, will you?
Yeah. Sorry. I did that directly in the microphone. That sounds horrible. Oh, God.
That was horrible.
I feel bad for anyone listening to this. I'm going to have to edit that to be less loud, at least.
But coming in at number 7 are the Tommy knockers inside Colorado mines.
Hey, Tommy. Knock, knock.
Oh, the reason I laugh is because it has the word knockers in it.
Yes.
Any, like, really lewd and childish way to refer to, like, parts of the body are like peak comedy.
It's really, it genuinely is really funny. I'm with you there.
And it's so bad. Like, I'm not making fun of those parts of the body. The fact that that's a word that has been used to describe those things is what's funny to me. Okay, I'm sorry, people with knockers. All right, I've got them too. Like, we're living life.
They're not knockers, Trace. They're honka-honkas.
Oh, they're bahongalaroos.
They're bahongalaroos, exactly. I'm glad you get it, you know? Yeah, it's just funny names, you know? That's true of, you know, anything. Anything's, I mean, what's the whole, like, the weenus thing?
The weenus and the vagina. Sorry.
The weenus and the Virginia.
All right. The Tommyknockers inside Colorado mines. The mining industry had a huge impact on Colorado's past, helping to shape this. Yes.
I never knew.
Many cities helping shape the centennial state into what it is today. Many cities and towns across the state got their start during the mining era, especially those found in the high country, such as Leadville and Telluride. Telluride, snow falling down. There's a whole song about it.
Really? Damn.
It's by Garth Brooks, I think, is the one who sings Telluride.
Sure, that's a name.
Country
Yeah,
song.
I'll believe it.
Yep. With this huge influx of miners coming in, who? With this
huge influx of miners coming came several new legends. Okay, I see.
That's a horrible sentence. With this huge influx of miners coming came several new legends, including those of the Tommyknockers. These Tommyknockers were said to be tiny old men, green and wrinkled, that hung out in the mines and knocked along the walls of the caverns.
Knock, knock.
If the Tommyknocker knocks were present, it was a good thing, as it meant good fortune. I'm losing my words.
I can read it if you want me to.
As this meant the good fortune of the Tommyknockers was with the miners, sure to warn them of tunnel collapses and other troubles. If the knockers were gone, it meant that the Tommyknockers had been disrespected and left. The presence of Tommyknockers was the reason that many old mines were not completely sealed. After all, they had to be given a way out. They had to be given a way out to follow the miners to their next location.
Okay, that's a sweet legend, though. Like, a lot of these legends are, like, all based on death and stuff like that. This is a nice one. It's like just Emma. Silly. Yeah, poor Emma. Rest in pepperoni.
Rest in hot springs.
Rest in Emma. Hot springs. Yeah, this one's just about, miners wanting to, have a fun story that they could talk with each other about while mining. I'm like, that's fun. That's a neat one.
Well, it's like Tommyknockers are pretty well known in many mining towns. Like, it's not just a Colorado specific thing either.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard of Tommyknockers because I look into every single fucking mythological creature of the United States.
Yeah.
But like Tommyknockers, you were said to, like, you would leave out things for Tommyknockers, you would talk to them.
Yeah.
Like, it was a cool, like, little culture of people who mined, was that these were like your little guardians that would help you figure out if a mine was safe or not. And I think that's cute and sweet.
That is cute and sweet. I mean, it's a nice, comforting story for sure, and I like it.
That time, Colorado Springs fell into darkness.
Ah! What? We're on number 6 now. Number 6, gotcha.
That's what it is now with all of the Nazi furs living in Colorado Springs.
Oh, that explains why you dislike Denver.
No, there's many reasons why I dislike Denver. Denver has, for the most, at least previous to this year, did a lot to expunge those types of people from its spaces. That's good. Which was cool.
That's good.
We can talk more privately about why I dislike Denver.
Okay,
because it's a hot button topic right now, and I feel like these conversations are best used in private to not fan the flames of things at the moment.
Understood. I will not push further.
An early pioneer in the field of electricity, Nikola Tesla is best known for the Tesla coil, an electrical resonant transformer circuit. During the development of this coil, he conducted a lot of his experiments in Colorado Springs. Not only did the dry air and frequent electric storms in the area cater to Tesla's tests, the city also gave him free land and power. However, that changed in 1899, when Tesla set out to create a lightning bolt of his own. He was successful, blasting a bolt out that was over 100 feet long.
Nice.
With its thunder heard over 20 miles away in Cripple Creek, then the power went out. His experiment was sent darkness across the entire state of Colorado Springs, lighting the electric company's equipment on fire in the process.
Holy shit.
After that, his power was cut off and the lab was broken down to pay for the generator he had destroyed.
I mean, you know what? Kind of brutal, but also fair. Sometimes we make mistakes in pursuit of science that cost the entire city. in the pursuit of science. In the science pursuit. I mean, yeah, this is early science or early electric science.
Early electricity.
Early electricity.
Yeah. I don't know. My favorite story of Tesla is that he fell in love with a pigeon. That's all I cared about.
Tesla was a zoophile?
Tesla was in love with a pigeon.
Interesting. Weird.
Did you not know this?
No, I did not. Why would I have known that?
I feel like it's common knowledge at this point that Tesla loved a pigeon. That was
You're good.
Tesla's pigeon wife.
Is there more? Is there actual like a story to this, or is that just it? Is
I'm
that
sure
the whole
there
story?
is. I don't have it off the top of my head. I just know that he loved the pigeon. Like he fell in love with a pigeon, and he wrote in it about how he longs to see her every day.
Tesla's pigeon wife.
Tesla's pigeon wife.
That was the third top Google for typing in his name. How did I not know this?
Yeah, like it's pretty well known. Well, this is like when I told my friend about like what H.P. Lovecraft named his cat.
What did H.P. Lovecraft name his cat?
I'm not gonna say that shit out loud. You have to look that up yourself.
What the why do I not know this? Okay, what's happening? Cat name. Oh.
I'm not saying that shit out loud, man.
I see now why you're not saying that out loud. Yep. That is a slur. That is the hardest of slurs. Good Lord. Why would H.P. Lovecraft, what the fuck? I mean, I knew you weren't a good person, but holy shit.
Oh, but Tesla loving a pigeon was all right.
I don't mind. You know what? It's as long as he didn't try to fuck the pigeon, that's fine. I'm assuming he didn't put his dickle near it, but like what is it with you and the word dickle today?
I don't know. It's sticking in my brain. I think it's funny.
It is a funny word. I get you.
Sorry for teaching you things today, I guess. Coming in at number 5 are the dead animals of the San Luis Valley.
San Luis. Okay. I think I've heard of San Luis, actually.
One of the more disturbing unexplained phenomena that has occurred in Colorado is the mysterious death of farm animals through the San Luis Valley in the 1960s.
Aliens! Aliens! Aliens!
Mm-hmm. Farmers were frequently finding their animals dead, skinned alive, and with various features removed with expertise. The animals were also found with their blood drained, though there was no mess to indicator as to how. This strange event was also occurring in other sparsely populated areas of the country, such as Kansas and Minnesota. By the time the FBI got involved, there were more than 100 incidents spanning 9 states over the course of a couple years. Eventually, it was concluded that the mutilations were the result of natural causes, though many angry farmers beg to differ.
Gas leak.
Gas leak?
Yeah.
Oh, I love when the gas leak kills my animals and skins them alive.
It's always so funny. Like that's the excuse that the government often gives for like weird things. Just, oh yeah, it's just a gas leak. I'm like, what natural causes could leave cattle drained of their blood? Like that's strange. I don't know how to feel about that.
Right? So
wait, Trace. It was the vampire. From earlier in this episode. It
was a vampire.
It was John Trandafir. Oh my god, no, what? Dre Pendragon was one of the farmers. God, holy shit.
Don't think so. But, yeah. It's obviously the vampire. The vampire got out of his little coffin every night, would go to the San Luis Valley and drink them little cows of all their blood.
Just go nice and slurpy.
Did you ever watch The Littlest Vampire?
No. That doesn't even sound familiar. I've never even heard of that.
Do you remember the kid from Stuart Little?
Yes.
The blonde kid from Stuart Little? I think it's the same kid that plays in The Littlest Vampire. But it's like a kid, they move to, I want to say Transylvania. They move to someplace. And he ends up befriending like a vampire, like a little kid vampire.
Okay.
But the vampires are trying to make themselves non-vampires, right?
Powerful. I mean, I get it.
But then there's a vampire hunter that's trying to kill all of them before they do that, because he doesn't know they want to be non-vampires. He just thinks they're blood-sucking creatures. Anyway, there is a scene in that movie that was very formative, I think, to me in many ways. And it's a scene where one of the kid vampires gets a muzzle put on him.
Wait a minute, what?
And it's because he can't control himself from drinking the blood of the cows that are around him. But yeah, he gets a muzzle placed on him, and that scene I think changed me a little inside for the rest of my life.
Doesn't surprise me. That seems up your alley for sure.
Yeah, that really did something to me. That was like, I want to be him some reason. Like, I don't know why.
All right, there,
but
Trace.
I want to be him. Okay. Anyway.
So I'm looking at the Wikipedia article for The Littlest Vampire. Was this a musical?
Maybe. I don't fucking know. I'd never heard of The Vampire.
There's a 12-song track list. Like the soundtrack was released.
Oh, The Littlest Vampire. I thought you were talking about the vampire.
The movie. No, yeah, we're not even talking about the vampire in Colorado. We're talking about the dead animals in San Luis Valley. But the Littlest Vampire movie. There's a track by the Venga Boys on the album.
Maybe there. I mean, I'm pretty sure there was music in the movie. I don't think it was a musical.
I mean, okay, so looking at the track list, "Gimme, Gimme, Gimme," I've seen that one. I'm familiar with that song.
Like, gimme, gimme, gimme.
Yeah, A Man After Midnight. Yes, it's that one.
Okay. By ABBA.
The group was formed as an ABBA tribute group. I don't think that. Wait, what? Oh, okay. This was a cover of the song. It wasn't the actual song.
Oh, apparently they remade The Littlest Vampire at some point. The Little Vampire, not the Littlest Vampire.
Gotcha.
Little Vampire.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at is The Little Vampire.
And it has like the kid from Stuart Little on the front. And he's in red. Yeah. And
then another kid upside down.
Yeah. That's the vampire.
That's okay. I couldn't tell, you know.
By the way he's dressed in dark clothes.
By the way he's hanging upside down.
You couldn't tell. Yeah. No, that one scene was very formative to me in my life.
Damn, this track list has a Trans-Siberian Orchestra song.
Really?
Yeah. The last song on the track list is Requiem the Fifth by Trans-Siberian Orchestra. That's impressive.
Damn. Honestly, banger list of songs.
Yeah, no kidding.
Maybe the music also had a very formative experience for me.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Have you ever seen TSO live?
No, I have not. I want to.
They're cool. They're really cool. I've seen it like twice because they came to... I think they came to perform in Wichita yearly for a while, and that was close enough that my family would drive and we would go watch them. And I'm like, that was fun.
Yeah,
that was a fun experience.
I know that they were in Kansas City last year, and I wanted to go, but I never got to.
TSO tour. I'm gonna look this up now while you read the next one.
All right, coming in at number 4, the UFOs of Hooper. If you're striking out on a road trip to see all of the abnormal things in Colorado, you've probably got the UFO Watchtower in Hooper on your list. Standing a couple stories tall, this spot is said to be the best place to catch a view of the clear night sky surrounded by the vast darkness of the nearly empty San Luis Valley. San Luis Valley? UFO heavy.
UFO heavy.
If you hunt down the accounts of people that have been to this attraction, you'll find many reports of strange flashes to glowing orbs in the sky. Experts on one side of the debate claim that the UFOs may be attracted to this point of Colorado because of the presence of geothermal water. The opposing experts argue that the isolated location of the valley leads people to believe that they see things that aren't really there. Like I said, vibes are just different out there.
Vibes really are different when you're just out and about. You know, I get it.
They just feel different. I mean, not to tweet out my real-time assassination coordinates, but I lived close to the San Luis Valley, so I get it.
Yeah. I mean, I like how you say real-time assassination coordinates as if you still live there. I feel like it's been commonly established that we don't. But we started this episode trying not to dox you, and we're getting closer and closer to doxing you, which I think is really funny.
The San Luis Valley is a very large area. That's true. Not large, but it's a decent size. So
I just think it's interesting how many UFO alien myths Colorado has. Just this happened just in the midst of the Midwest, where there's nothing but cattle. Because it would make sense, you know?
Yeah, it's because aliens are real. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, you claim that you've seen them, so I get it. You know,
I didn't see them. I heard reports of them.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember the story correctly.
I remember the story correctly.
This
You're
is
right.
just a buzz.
My bad.
Coming in at number 3, and this is one that I love. I'm so glad this actually made it to the list.
Really?
The Denver Airport Conspiracies.
Okay.
Have you ever flown into the Denver Airport? Or been
No,
at the
I
Denver
haven't.
Airport?
Every time that I needed to go to Colorado was within driving distance because Kansas isn't that far.
Yeah,
Hot take.
we're
I
literally
don't know
right
if you
next.
knew. Yeah.
Correct. Denver Airport Conspiracies. If you've ever been around Colorado for a while, you've probably heard someone bring up questions regarding the peculiarities of Denver International Airport. There are a ton of conspiracy theories surrounding this building, and it all started with the construction. Massive delays of 16 months and a $4.8 billion price tag, $2 billion over budget, led people to think that something was going on that they didn't know about. It's also the largest airport in the United States for no apparent reason, nearly double the size of the second largest. Then there was a former construction worker who claimed that there were 5 multi-level buildings beneath the airport built for an unknown purpose.
Okay, this is
If that's
interesting.
not enough, there's also super creepy murals on the walls that some people claim to depict an apocalyptic scenario in which the New World Order is taking over the modern world.
Interesting.
These murals are actually kind of creepy.
I kind of want to go and see just the murals at this point. This seems fascinating to me.
These fears have also stemmed from the airport's dedication stone, which I have touched and rubbed my body against.
Why did you say it like that?
Because I literally draped myself over it to take a photo. Okay.
Wild. Fair enough.
I have been into myths and legends for a long time, so the first time I got to go and see these things in real life, I was in it.
Fair enough. I get it.
The airport's dedication stone displaying a Masonic symbol and giving thanks to the New World Airport Commission for their support in funding the project. It's something strange happening. They didn't put this here. New World Airport Commission does not exist. It's not in any records. It's not been put up as a 501c3 or anything.
Oh, that's interesting.
There's no website.
You've done your research on this. Hell yeah.
Yes. No. Literally, that does not exist. The New World Airport Commission does not exist.
Fair.
So the fact that it's what's dedicated, the entire airport is dedicated to, it's a little weird.
That is pretty cool.
Is something strange happening at Denver International Airport? Probably not, but perhaps. There's also Blucifer.
What?
Which is the very scary horse statue that's outside of the Denver International Airport.
Please elaborate.
Completely anatomically correct, but it is a blue horse with bulging red veins.
God.
Yeah, that it's just outside of the Denver International Airport, and they've nicknamed it Blucifer because it looks evil.
That's so weird. I want to go there now. I need to contact my pilot friends and to have them fly me there because that's fascinating.
It's really cool. Honestly, you don't feel it when you're just in the airport because it just feels like a normal airport.
Yeah.
But then you stop and you look at these murals that you have to go through to get to baggage claim, I think.
Yeah.
And you're like, why the heck is that man in a hazmat suit?
What?
Well, maybe not a hazmat suit, but he has a gas mask.
Is there a list of these murals? That's awesome.
Well, there's two big ones that are right across from each other as you walk through.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're very weird.
Oh my god, I'm looking at pictures of them. These are fucking creepy as hell.
Right? It's so weird. Why did they do that? But yeah, the Denver International Airport. What a fun little place.
Oh my god, this is amazing. I love this. And I don't... Holy shit. Yeah, Children of the World Dream of Peace. That's the name of the one where it's someone in a gas mask and a military uniform holding a blade, at a dove, and a massive... Holy, what the fuck? Why... What does this have to do with okay, usually murals and stuff have to do with history of the place and whatnot.
Right.
None of this has anything to do with Colorado history, as far as I can tell.
Doesn't.
I mean,
No,
maybe I just
nothing.
don't know shit about Colorado history. Maybe there's some deep secrets that we don't know. Who knows?
No, it's very weird. Coming in at number 2 is also another thing that I love. That's very fun.
Yeah.
The military base hidden inside of a mountain.
Oh.
Standing tall over Colorado Springs, Cheyenne Mountain is known for hiding a military installation beneath its surface. The Cheyenne Mountain Complex, part of the Cheyenne Mountain Air Force Station, originally, this is a different sentence. Originally, this structure and nuclear bunker was the center for the United States Space Command and NORAD, responsible for monitoring the airspace above the United States and Canada. As of 2008, the complex was redesigned as an Air Force station, and as far as the public knows, it's used for flight crew training. Perhaps the craziest part about this base are the specs. Not only is it under 2,000 feet of granite, it's also got a 25-ton blast doors capable of withstanding a 30 megaton nuclear explosion from a mile away.
Holy shit.
To put that in perspective, the most powerful nuclear weapon ever tested by the U.S. had a yield of 15 megatons, a yield that dwarfs anything that's actually been used.
Okay, that's fascinating, because this is something that clearly exists. This is provable fact that the military base does exist.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the legend here is that it's something more than people than the military is claiming it is. Like, it's not just an Air Force station. It's something secret. That's fascinating to me.
And I don't know if this is confirmed or if it's a part of the rumors. But a whisper that gets talked about is that this is the place that the president is supposed to go if we end up in a nuclear war. I mean,
given all of the specs for it, I wouldn't be surprised. That seems like the safest place in America.
Yeah, honestly, yes.
Yeah.
But who knows what else they're hiding in there? Maybe
I guess my biggest question is, why would they have it so far from where the president is? You would need to fly there, and that's a bit of a long flight.
Mountains.
I mean, you're right, I guess.
Mountains. It's in a centralized location of the United States, I guess. So it's you can monitor the airs, I guess, better.
This paired with the Denver airport makes me wonder what the fuck is the government doing in Colorado?
You are not the only one who's made that connection, especially when there's reports of 5-story deep bunkers underneath the Denver International Airport.
That is interesting.
You're like, what are they doing in Colorado? I bet it's aliens.
They're doing weed.
You're fucking right.
Yeah.
There's this interview on TikTok that I love of a furry, a guy in a fursuit, and he starts it with, "Just stepped on my friend over there."
Oh wait, yes, I've seen this. I've seen that one.
I'm pretty sure I sent it to you because I sent it to all of my friends. I think I even sent it to my brother.
Yeah, that was iconic.
It's so funny.
That was wild.
Just stepped on my friend over there. Pretty cool, pretty neat. Staying drunk, staying high out here in Denver, Colorado.
Of course. Good Lord.
Let's fucking go. I love furries. They're the best.
We love furries. They're the best.
The Lost Graves of Denver.
Okay, this is number 1 on the list. Since
this
you
is
didn't
number
say
1.
That.
Did you know that that Cheeseman?
Cheeseman! Cheeseman! Hell yeah! We love cheese! I'm the cheese man.
Did you know that Cheeseman Park in Denver used to be a massive cemetery?
No! I did not know that.
Originally, a 320-acre hillside plot on the edge of the city, urban population growth slowly consumed the surrounding area, which led to the cemetery space being repurposed. Okay. Once filled with the remains of early pioneers, the decision to move the bodies to a new location was made in 1890.
Okay.
Most of the marked graves of wealthier inhabitants were easily found and moved, while the sections for the poor and the unclaimed or criminals weren't treated with quite as much dignity. The person in charge of removing the bodies was given a per casket price, which led him to filling smaller child-sized caskets with a mix of remains as more caskets this is unfortunate.
That's horrifying.
More caskets meant more money. Oh my God.
That was a hard sentence to read. But also, that's... I mean, capitalism at its worst right there. Holy shit. Desecrating someone's grave for money? Hell yeah. I guess.
Baby.
Let's do it, baby.
Unfortunately, the man paid to handle digging up bodies hadn't been paid to refill the graves. This meant that countless unsightly holes started to pop up, raising a public outcry that eventually resulted in the city dissolving the contract with their gravedigger. The gravedigger packed up and left, leaving thousands of graves and a collection of human remains behind. The city eventually flattened out the land and made it look pretty again, transforming the space into Cheeseman Park, the Denver Botanical Gardens, and City Park. However, they didn't remove the rest of the remains. Today, tons of people enjoy these places, not knowing about their darker past until the occasional bone creeps up. According to some, you can still see where the graves once were in the grass on the brightest of nights. And that's it.
Brightest of nights. That's an odd way to phrase night.
On the brightest of nights, you can see where the graves are.
This again doesn't sound like a legend. This just sounds like government fact. But also, this is fucked up.
It's very obviously begging for, you're supposed to think it's haunted, it's creepy.
Yeah.
There's bones popping up,
I mean, the Gazette clearly didn't do a good job of extrapolating on those things that they're trying to lead you to. They're just presenting facts here. Or
I think they very much wanted to do factual.
Yeah, I get
kind
it.
of urban legend-esque things.
Yes. But this is still fascinating. This is still really cool. No, I want to talk about this for a little bit.
Okay, let's talk about this for a little bit. I mean, because we are standing on the remains of people most of the time.
Yeah, constantly. I mean, people die. There's significantly more dead people on this earth than there are alive ones. Yeah. That's just how bodies are. They decompose. They become the earth. But I think this is the first time it's been since humans have been actively trying to take care of their dead, actively trying to use coffins and stuff, that they've just decided, okay, yeah, let's just leave these bodies here, exposed to the ground. That's an interesting thing for me. I don't know how to. And
I don't know if I particularly like cemetery. I like cemeteries because they're always very peaceful, and
they are peaceful.
Understanding
You're right.
that you're not supposed to be loud there.
Yeah.
And it's always felt very calm and serene because normally some nature gets to come back into it and whatnot. So I've always really liked cemeteries. I've always liked the feeling of cemeteries. But do I think cemeteries should still be necessary in this day and age? No.
My question is what the fuck else do we do with bodies? Because again,
burn them, toss them into the sea.
Yeah. The idea of cremation is so weird to me, and I think I might have been fucked by this from fucking Doctor Who.
Well, I think you're also, for me, cremation was fucked because of a bunch of Christians telling me that if my body isn't there when the rapture happens, then I don't get to go be with God in the eternal heaven. Which
is really silly, because I don't think a single body from, the Roman times, where Jesus Christ himself was prophesying to his followers and to all the Jewish people and the Romans and yeah, if you follow me, you'll come to heaven. I'm I don't think any of those bodies are still around. They've all decomposed by now. It's been 2,000 years.
It's been a long time. You are just bones.
I don't know where the Christians came up with that idea.
Well, I think
they just hate technology.
Me on this. I think it was because early clergy expected the second coming to happen while they were still alive.
That's true.
And since
they really did.
They started to die out. They started to get worried that the second coming hadn't happened yet. So they started to be reassured that as long as their bodies were prepared and preserved, not preserved, but prepared and laid to rest, that when the second coming did happen, as long as they were believers in life, they would be resurrected to be with Christ. So that's where I think it came from. Again, don't quote me on that. That's pulling from the recesses of my mind.
That's an element of Christian history that I haven't investigated, because I like having those discussions about religion and the implications they have on today. I mean the effect of circumcision in America today among Christians is that's fine. No, it's funny.
It's a serious topic, but
it's also funny. It's okay to laugh at that.
The people that are oh, my penis was stolen from me.
It is kind of silly, I'll be honest.
There's some really you know what, I'm sorry, it is really bad. It is literal genital mutilation.
It is
whatever.
Whatever.
Some of y'all need to calm the fuck down. I get it. Oh my god. I'm sorry.
That's a debate for another day, I suppose.
Before we end,
yes, you have another story. Go ahead.
Can I tell you about the unsinkable Molly Brown?
Yes. What does this have to do with the Titanic heads that you mentioned?
So
The unsinkable
Margaret-
Molly Brown.
Margaret Brown, posthumously known as the unsinkable Molly Brown, was an American socialite and philanthropist. She was a survivor of the RMS Titanic, which sank in 1916, and she unsuccessfully urged the crew in lifeboat number 6 to return to the debris field to look for survivors.
Interesting.
And she lived in Colorado.
Okay. Is that it? Is there more to the legend?
No, not really. She's just
a survivor of the Titanic who lives in Colorado.
Well, she's like a folk. Well, she doesn't live in Colorado anymore. She's dead, brother. But like,
who lived in Colorado?
Thank you. But she just became a folk hero. Like, I think there's like an entire musical about her. I think there's the Molly Brown house in Colorado.
That's cool.
Like, she's just a folk hero now. So like, urban legend, I don't know. I expected like maybe, if you go to Molly Brown's house on the date of the sinking of the Titanic, she'll be there. I don't know. Just a lot of people love Molly Brown.
Honestly, imagine having a fucking musical based on you. Like, that's kind of, conceptually kind of cool. Not gonna lie.
I feel like it's gonna happen. I feel like someone's gonna write a musical about me one day. I don't know what
Yeah, probably. It's Rank Masters the musical.
Rank Masters the musical.
God, the costumes for that would be amazing. You'd have to get so many fursuits.
I mean, if my life was a musical, there would be many fursuits.
There would be many fursuits, yeah.
Thank you all for listening. It has been a wonderful episode with all of you. But also, it's almost spooky season. Remember that. That's the whole reason I did this episode, not because I was lazy and I just wanted one where I could read most of the information.
Yeah.
It's almost spooky season.
Yeah, it's like we're what 7 weeks away from Halloween.
We are close to October, all right. And as someone who is born in Libra season,
let's go.
I feel a connection to spooky season because they're very overlapping.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening. Please leave a rating.
Kiss your boyfriend. Kiss your boyfriend for me. Kiss me and make me your boyfriend.
Don't do that. It's like,
don't kiss me. Damn.
We're not gonna,
what if I want to be kissed?
Court our listeners.
Yeah, you're right. That is a little weird.
Kiss your boyfriend. Tell if you don't have a boyfriend, kiss your nearest male friend.
Specifically male.
Yeah, exactly. They have to be male. They have to be.
That's an oddly specific specification there, Trace.
They have to be masculine presenting. Let's say it that way. And then look them dead in the eyes and be like, "You like kissing boy? Well, I like kissing boys." You have to say it exactly like that. Thank you for listening. I've got nothing more.
We're done. Bye.
Tired.
Bye, all. See ya.